least common multiple, or LCM. I don't use those short forms because they just confuse me. So least common multiple. You may recall that a multiple is the product of two factors that are multiplied together. So another word for a multiple is a product. Common multiple is a product that is common to a couple, 2 or 3 different numbers. The least common multiple is the smallest multiple that's common to those numbers. Clear as mud? Okay, here's what I mean. So I'm going to take 3 numbers and I want to find the multiple that is common to those 3 numbers, but I want to find the least. So I kind of do it opposite of the way that they do it in your MyMath book. If you notice on page 577, they are finding the least common multiple of the numbers 3, 4, and 6. And they list them least to greatest. I tend to list mine greatest to least because that way I usually do a little bit less work. So if you start with the largest number, I'm going to do 3 numbers, 8, 4, and 3. And I'm going to list them in that order, with 8 being the first one. So the first thing you do is for your greatest one, you list the times tables. There's my 8. And I usually go all the way up to 5. Now I may need to go further, but I like 5, so I stop there. Okay? So this is the 8 times table up to 5. Then I list the 4 times table, and I keep going until, oh look, there is a multiple common to 8 and 4. But I kept going. Why did I keep going? Because I know that the 3 times table does not have 16 in it. So I keep going until I find another one that's common to 4 and 8, 24. Now, if I wanted to find the least common multiple of 8 and 4, that would be 16, right? Because 16, you can divide 8 into 16 and you can divide 4 into 16. That's a common multiple, a least common multiple. But I also need to put 3 in there too. So I need to list the 3 times table. So you see, with my smaller times table, I need to go up much higher than I did. So if by doing the largest one first, I kind of get an idea of the numbers that I'm looking for. In this case, my least common multiple of 8, 4, and 3 is 24. So I'm going to circle my least common multiple. Now, why is that important? Who cares? Well, you're going to care. You're going to care because we use the least common multiple to find a common denominator for fractions that have different denominators. Why is that important? Well, that's important because if you want to compare or add or subtract fractions, the denominators must be the same. So if I have a fraction with a denominator of 8 and a fraction with a denominator of 4 and a fraction with a denominator of 3, and I want to compare or add or subtract, I need to create equivalent fractions using the least common multiple. So the first thing I need to know is how to find the least common multiple. And that is done by listing the times tables and looking for the least common multiple. Now you will have a note on this, but your note is with the idea of comparing, adding, and subtracting fractions. So before you start reading the note, it's really important that you understand the video, what I've done,